Hello, and thank you for joining our FactFinder solution webinar. My name is Courtney Peak. I am the head of support here at PreciseFP. Everyone is on mute, but if you have any questions, please feel free to put those in the chat box, and we'll be sure to respond within 24 business hours. All right, let's go ahead and get started here. Each client has a unique financial situation, unique goals, unique needs, and a unique perspective towards working with a financial advisor. To exceed their expectations, you need to provide an outstanding service, and creating a comprehensive financial plan is essential for that. So how can you create a comprehensive financial plan without spending countless hours gathering data for each new client? The solution is our customizable fact finding. With generic fact finders, they can be overwhelming, impersonal, and often lead to frustration. So today, what we're going to do is we're actually going to go over 3 different approaches to fact finding so that you can handle each client the way that you see fit. The first that we're going to be talking about is Adaptable FactFinders. So these will be where you can first ask questions to your clients and then hide all sections that do not apply to them. A simple example of this would be, hiding children information if your client would answer no to the question, do you have children? The second type is Curated FactFinders. These are ideal for clients that you already know something about. So we'll show you how you can make a copy of your fact finder, open it in the template editor, and quickly remove all sections that do not apply to your client. And the third example is segmented fact finding. So segmenting your fact finding process is a great way to gather data faster. Engaging your clients with smaller fact finders focused on one specific topic will not overwhelm them and allow them to complete the engagement in one setting. Now, before we start, let's just go over a few definitions of terms that you'll hear and see often during this webinar. The first would be accounts. Accounts are your client or prospect household records. Other applications may refer to them as just clients or just households, contacts, or records. An account will always include one main client and may sometimes include a co-client, like a spouse, partner, or significant other. Form templates. In essence, form templates are smart, dynamic forms. They are fully customizable, and we provide a large library of ready-to-use templates for a multitude of situations. The third is engagements. So when you engage a client or prospect account with a template, a new engagement is created. Engagements will store the information input by the client and can be previewed or printed exactly as they left it. And lastly, the account profile. So the account profile is where your client's relevant data is stored, such as contact information, household, assets, liabilities. This all resides in that account profile. And we use this information to actually pre-fill some engagements, and when your clients complete them, we automatically update their account profile to include that new collected data. And some information from the profile can then actually be exported to other systems via our integrations. Now let's go ahead and start by showing you an adaptable fact finder. We're going to walk you through the process of engaging a client with it and show you the client's experience filling it in. After, we'll dive into how the template works, show you how to customize it, or even build out your own. So let me go ahead and just change my screen over here. So now we're going to go into PreciseFP. So what I like to start with is I do like to just kind of start with showing the forms library. I think this is really important because it will show you basically where you can come out here and find a lot of these pre-made templates that I'm going to be kind of focusing on today. But definitely keep in mind, and this is something we pride ourselves on, is that PreciseFP is a fully customizable solution. I think that'll be kind of one of your takeaways that you'll be able to leave with after this webinar, is you will see how you can even customize one of the templates that we have, or you definitely have the flexibility and the freedom to come out here and build your own templates too. We don't limit you to the number of templates that you can have or the number of customizations that you can do. So again, our first step is showing the Adaptable FactFinder process. Now again, Adaptable FactFinders are going to be where you can, maybe lay out some questions to your clients and then hide all sections that do not apply to them. So again, kind of going back to the example that I gave, the children information. So maybe you could set up a yes or no question if your client has children, yes or no. And then if they mark no, then the children section does not appear. So we actually call that feature in PreciseFP conditional visibility. So let's go ahead. I'm actually just going to use our pre-made household structure template here, and I'm going to use this as an example to work off of to show you this adaptable piece, this adaptable fact finder component that you can really create out here. So I'm going to go ahead, and actually I have a version of this installed, so I'm actually just going to replace the existing version with this new one here. Start with a literal blank slate with this form. So what I'm going to do here is, I know this one actually has on this household members page here, it actually already has this set up to be adaptable. But what I want to do is I do want to show you folks how we actually set this up for you here. So looking at this page, we did call this page household members. Now we have a section here for children, and then we have a section for other relatives. So this is going to be an example of having that adaptable fact finder, putting in that conditional visibility feature that I was mentioning. So what we did is we created here a yes or no question, and this is actually called a multiple option element. So what I'm going to do is I will just create another one just down below just so you can see how we went about doing this. So I'm going to just act as if I'm starting from a new element here. So I'm going to go to new element, and what we did is we actually used the multiple option element for that. So in this case, we could ask, do you have children? And then in the allowed values, we want to give them either, in this case, just kind of simplifying this, a yes option and a no option. Now, the thing that's going to come into play here with this conditional visibility is under the value here. Now, you're welcome to just leave the value as is if you want, but if you do want to, if you're starting to create a multiple option element that has quite a few different options to it, you'll notice that the value can become quite long just depending on the actual label that you're giving. But the value is actually what is going to be coming into play, and I'll show you what I'm talking about in just a moment. So you can always open up that advanced editor here and change up the value if you wanted to do, 1 or 2 or A, B, C, etc., just to simplify the value. I think once you kind of get more used to going out here and getting a little more in depth and with the actual editor here, you'll see how that becomes beneficial. The only thing that we require is that each value for each allowed value that you have is different. So you can't use the same letter or number or value more than once. So what I'm going to do, just to kind of keep it simple, is I am just going to go back and change those back to yes or no. And I can either allow them to select multiple options from this if I wanted to. So that would come into play if you're maybe creating maybe like a survey question and you want to give them multiple options to choose from and you want them to be able to select more than one, then you can do that. or if you want to show them all in one row, which is how we actually have this one up here set up. You can actually default that to be no, or you can actually change it to say yes. And then you'll see it'll stack them on top of each other. So you can have it whichever aesthetic you're comfortable with and want. You can change that up if you so choose. Now, what we did with this group here, and you can tell that it is set up with conditional visibility because if you hover over the group, you're going to see this little eye icon here, and that indicates that this group has conditional visibility set to it. So if you hover over this one up here, you'll notice that there isn't anything that appears, so that means that there's no conditional visibility set up there. So what we did, and let me edit the group here so you can see exactly what we're talking about. So let me actually just remove, I'm going to change up the visibility on this. This one already has it, but if I wanted to, let me change that, set it to default, and I'm going to go back in and I'm going to change it to under visibility to configure it, and I want to select visible on, I've got some options here. This only comes into play in regards to the visible on if you're looking to maybe have this always visible so it's always there. If you want to do it to advisor preview only, so only you would see it. If you just want it to show up on print or the screen only, that's what that means. I'm not going to be working with anything on that right now. But what I want to do here is under visible only when. This section here is where I'm going to set my conditional visibility. So my condition that I want to set here is I want this group to only appear when they mark yes on this field here. So just because I have two here, I'm actually going to, just so I know which one to grab, I'm going to put a number next to this because, again, this one already had it set up, but I wanted to, again, come out here and show you how you can do this on your own. And you're not limited to just having this be on a yes or no question. You can have this set up on any type of drop-down or multiple option field. So let me go back into the group here. I'm going to click on configure. Under the visible only when, I want to select that field. So I can do a search for do you have children, and there's that one that I want to use there. I'm going to leave this to the equals like this. Now you can go out to our knowledge base. Let me pull this up for you here. And if you do a search for conditional visibility, this is great because it will show you what each of these mean. And it, oops, I went too far, right here. This is what each one of those options are. So I want that to be equal. So I want that to mean when they do mark yes to the value, then I want that group to appear. So let's just do a preview of that to show you exactly what I'm talking about here. So in this one, when they mark yes to this, then this children's section does appear. So that's conditional visibility. That's making that adaptable fact finder. Another really great example of an adaptable fact finder is our quick fact finder in our library. This is an extremely popular fact finder that we have. Let me just do a preview for you folks so you can see exactly what I'm talking about here. So let me go through this a little bit. So the family members is also set up to be conditional, just like on that household structure one we were looking at. But as you continue through the form here, you're going to see that like on the insurance page and the assets and the liabilities, all of those are set up to be adaptable. And again, having it set up this way is really nice because it makes it so that your client isn't having all of these sections just open on this form that aren't even applicable to them. So like on the retirement plans page here, when you send this out to your client, they may not know what, half of these are, but yeah, I do know that I have a 401k plan. So they can click on 401k. It opens up that section just kind of one at a time. They can focus on that. The rest of these may not even be applicable applicable to them, and they can move on and continue on. So here they know that they've got auto insurance. They can click on that, fill out their auto insurance, and that pops up. But then they also have long-term care insurance. They can click on that. That section will open up, and so on and so forth. So that is Adaptable FactFinders. Again, this quick fact finder here is one that you can find and use in the library and customize on your own as well. The next type of fact finder, again, is Curated FactFinders. So again, those are ideal for clients that you already know something about. So what you can do with these, which is really fantastic, is, I'll show you how you can do this, but you can create a copy of a fact finder, customize it, and engage your client with it. So let's say, I'm going to use this quick fact finder as an example. Let me actually install this from the library. And let's say I'm going to be, working with a client that I know doesn't have children. Let's just kind of stick with that theme of that children's section there. Let me go into this template here, and actually what I'm going to do, so I've got the original here, right? So let's say I want to make in this case, a curated fact finder for a specific client of mine. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to click on this. I'm going to make a copy of it. And let's say, maybe I want to call this Fact Finder for the Chesterfields. So this is going to be a curated fact finder for a specific client of mine. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go into this fact finder here that I made a copy of. I'm going to customize it. I'm going to go to that family members page here, and a couple things I can do here. If you want to remove individual fields, you can do that. So you can just click on the element and remove it, and it just removes it from this copy. And then maybe I want to remove this whole entire children's group. That's something that you can do as well. So you can come out here and click on remove group, and then maybe I just, I don't want this whole entire page. Well, that's something that you can do as well. You can remove the entire page from this template. And now you see it goes to right to client details, retirement plans, basically removed that entire page from the form. I know my clients, I know that they don't have any children. This makes it so that I'm not sending them the same generic questionnaire that may be applicable to a lot of my clients, but everybody has their own, again, unique situation. So this allows you to come out here and really tailor make that data gathering experience, even on an individual client level. So yeah, you may have a couple of fact finders going for specific clients in that case. I have some advisors who work with widows and widowers. So they'll come out here and, they'll remove the marital status. On this page, instead of it asking for co-client information, they actually change that page so that it doesn't ask for co-client information. So there's a lot of ways that you can go out there and curate this for, again, a specific client based on their unique situation. Let's go ahead now and engage my clients with this form, just so, again, you can kind of see what this experience will look like for this curated fact finder for a specific client of mine. So here's my clients, the Chesterfields. I'm going to engage them with a form. And I can search for the form, or if it's recently updated, it will show at the top of my recently updated top 5. So I can go ahead and click on that. I can choose who my recipient of the form is going to be, who the primary is and secondary. Let's go ahead and just actually review it first as the advisor. So this creates the form, doesn't send it out to them just yet. So I'm just going to go this route for the demonstration, just so you folks can see what exactly this would look like when this goes out to the client. So here they are. Just envision them going out here and filling this out. As you can see, I do have some data on file for them. But let's go ahead and skip ahead, and as you can see, it takes them right to the retirement plans page. So because we removed that children's page, they are not going to see that at all. And if you happen to do this kind of curating of a fact finder off of one of the integrations optimized fact finders, you can definitely do that as well. There is absolutely no negative impact to doing that, meaning if you remove an element, you remove a group, or you remove a page on one of those integration specific fact finders, it's not going to make it so that the rest of the data on that fact finder is not going to be able to go. It still will. It will just mean that the client's not going to have access to that one particular section that maps over, meaning that there's not going to be any data there. So nothing will export over when you use an integration. And again, it makes it when the client gets this that they're not seeing a page or a field or a section on this form that is not applicable to them. So that is curating a fact finder. So as you can see, what you see in the preview is exactly what the client will see on their side too. All right, now again, the last approach that we're going to talk about is the segmented fact finding. So with the segmenting your fact finding process, this is a great way to gather data faster. So envision engaging your clients with smaller fact finders focused on one specific topic. This will make it so that they are not overwhelmed and really allows them to go out there and increase the chances of them completing the engagement in one sitting. So let me go back now to the form library, and I'm going to, let's say, well, actually I've already installed the quick fact finder on a roll there. I think I'll just continue to use that. Now let me make just another copy of this particular fact finder. So let me go ahead and, just so I know which one I'm working on when I go to eventually send this out, I'm just going to change the title of it just so I know. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here and again click on Customize to go into the template editor. So what I'm going to do is, as you can see along the right hand side here, this shows me all of the pages in this particular form. So with a segmented approach, again, you're kind of creating a more condensed fact finder, making it smaller so it's not so many pages at one time for them. So in this case, let's just say I'm going to maybe remove the liabilities page. I'm going to remove the assets page and the insurance page. So I'm going to keep it pretty minimal here. So I've got still remaining on this form the client details page, that family members page, and we'll just do the retirement plans page on this as well. And that is all. That's now a segmented fact finder that I took from an original one, just really kind of cut it down. Another one that's really great for kind of segmenting out your fact-finding process are these household structure ones. Let me just do a preview of that just to kind of give you an idea here. This is very, very simple, very small. I see a lot of advisors doing the whole kind of segmenting out their data gathering process with fact finders. And a lot of times firms and advisors use this as kind of the starting point. So with this, again, just very, very basic, just kind of getting information about the client, the co-client, and household members, and that's it. That's really the kind of step number one of the whole kind of getting into the fact-finding process. So this, again, is a great one to kind of start with. And then I usually see advisors maybe taking another one of our fact finders that we have, whether it be maybe the quick fact finder or this full fact finder right here to the left of it, and then just kind of adding more to it. The sky's the limit when it comes out here to kind of create this segmented approach. But now let's go ahead, and I've got this one segmented out. Let me go back to my clients just so you can, again, see what this looks like on the client side. So let me go to my clients, the Chesterfields again, and I'm going to engage them with that segmented form that I created there. And just to do a preview of it, just so you folks can get a general sense of what this can look like here, I'm just going to review and edit it first. So this is what it will look like when the client gets it too. So the Chesterfields, I already have some data on file for them. So again, information is pre-filling into this for them. But here's that client details page. Here's that family members page, which again, this is one of the pages that we left out there for them. And then we've got that retirement plans page, so they can go through here and see what's on file, if there is anything, and add anything that they may need or want to out here as well. And then basically that's it. That's all that this form contains. So that's creating a segmented fact finder. Again, great way to kind of gather data faster for them. So really kind of increases the chances to have the clients go out there and kind of complete this in one sitting when you have it kind of broken up like that. All right, folks, so that is our FactFinder solution. For more in-depth demonstrations, please watch our solution webinars on our website, which is just PreciseFP.com, and you can go to the webinars page up here. We dive into real-world situations and show you how you can take advantage of PreciseFP in different areas of your practice. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please feel free to reach out to us. We've got our live chat support available right here on our website and also in the dashboard. We're there Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. I want to thank you all for joining me today. I hope everyone has a great day. Take care.